What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we are going to be looking at the INART Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice Superman figure. This guy is so incredibly hyped, and I am so incredibly hyped to take a look at him. This guy was sent to me by toysassemble.com. You guys can check them out in the link in the description below. I've personally bought from them for a super long time, so I definitely really do recommend them wholeheartedly. Their shipping time is less than a week, which is absolutely insane. All of my packages have arrived probably, I'd say, within 4 days, so you can't really beat that. But without further ado, guys, I have to stop talking. I just have to take a look at this figure. And yeah, everybody, this is definitely a very nice, hefty, big box. This is actually a plastic slip cover on the top. It's kind of a translucent red with all of these little bats all over it. Pretty cool, actually. Just an extra way that they put some extra care and love into this figure. But obviously, we're going to slip this off right away so we can get right into the figure. And here we have a really nice chromatic silver on the front. We have Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice INART right there. We have Superman at the top, his logo and his face right there, and a really nice cool print. On the side, it wraps around and it says the same thing. On the back, if you seek his monument, look around you. Yeah, Batman vs Superman, same thing everywhere pretty much. And then more wraparound on this side. But I spent more time already than I would like to on the box, so we're just gonna open this up. You can see on the front, you got some special INART goodies. If you guys grab this figure, you can see what's in there, but that's not why we're here today. We want to take off these foam pieces right here. And first impressions, let's take a look, everybody. First of all, this cape feels super high quality, and looking at this figure, it looks absolutely amazing. We have this tray right here, and then if we end up lifting this one up, there is a tray down below. But before we take a look at the figure himself, we're going to take a look at everything he comes with. So let's lay out all of the accessories in the light box and take a closer look. All right, everybody, here we have all of his accessories laid out in the light box, nice and centralized. First, we're going to start off with some of the more basic stuff, like his display base right here. The quality on it and the actual finish is absolutely awesome. A lot of whitewash on that rock texture. And speaking of texture, there is a shit ton. We have very soft, bendy, little rubbery pieces of rebar. So if you bump these into anything or hit it, they will not break off. And on the bottom right here, you can see a couple of logos with Superman. And if you turn this and you pop that out, there actually is magnetic feet in here. You don't even really need to put on that back display base flight pole. But if we can put this back on really quick, you can see a very nice amount of detail on that front plate too with Superman logo. And if we pop this off right here, we can see where you slot in this super nice clear plastic bit for his actual flight pole. And it is very actually sturdy. We can push it in just a little farther right there. And it is definitely not going anywhere. And I do love the fact that it's clear. I wish more companies did this, especially, Hot Toys. But, we're not going to harp on that too much. Very happy with that display base, though. Now I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer. We're going to go on to some of the coolest accessories, which are the two different head sculpts. First, we're going to be looking at that more neutral look. And this is one of the huge things that the INART version boasts, way more than the Hot Toys. The crazy level of detail and the amazing likeness to Henry Cavill. Of course, he does have those rolling eyeballs in his head, and they are super easy to actually work with. The eyes, of course, look absolutely beautiful. Everything is inset, so everything has a lot of depth. Skin texture is super nice and not overdone on this. And you can obviously see from every single angle, this is Henry Cavill. And if you guys do want to look up that other version from Hot Toys of the Henry Cavill Superman, you could just see it's night and day. This one is definitely superior. Now coming over to this angry head sculpt, this is where it really shines. This is such a unique expression for somebody being angry. It almost looks like a pained anger and not just a rage base, which fits Superman's character beautifully. Obviously, again, you can see that super nice, same exact detail all the way around the head sculpt. Same thing with the rolling eyeballs. They are very easy to work with. And those laser eyes really do look absolutely awesome. And you can see a little bit of the cracking of his actual skin there. Now, if you compare this one to the Hot Toys version, oh my god, it's seriously a million times better on the INART one. Coming on to Batman's empty cowl, there's nothing crazy special about it, but Superman does come with his own magnetic hand that you can use to hold on to it, which is such a cool thing. There's no ugly ports or anything, but it can end up looking a little deformed without it. But if you display it just like this, it doesn't look that bad. And, I mean, come on, that is such a cool way to display him. And, of course, I'm going to be showing you guys that very soon. All the detail on it is super nice. There's a lot of texture and depth to it, and you could tell they definitely went the extra mile with all of these pieces, and it is a very stretchy, bendy rubber. Now, this one is an accessory I kind of like to poke fun at a little bit. It's just a giant lump of kryptonite. I think it is personally just absolutely massive. I would have loved one that he could hold in his hand, kind of like the size of these pictures that I'm about to take a look at, but I think it's just way too big. It would be, I guess, cool to display next to him, but again, I would have much rather a smaller piece of kryptonite. Now, here we have Batman's kryptonite staff. This thing barely even fits on the screen. That's how absolutely massive it is. Obviously, we're going to be displaying him with this in the bit. But now, see, this is a much more reasonable kryptonite thing, because this actually was how it is in the movie, so I am a very big fan of that. And I just stabbed myself, but you can see how nicely the light actually reflects through this thing. It makes it look so vibrant, and it looks even more vibrant on camera. We can see right here, there's actually some green paint to make it look like it's reflecting off of it. Super cool detail, actually. And then coming down here, you can see all of the metallic details and the washes along with the gray-black detailing right there. Absolutely awesome piece. And it does feel very high quality and sturdy. And I mean, this thing, you know, it's like seriously a weapon. But do be careful, because this right here and this on the end are very sharp, especially this piece of kryptonite. Now, you do see that we are getting two different capes. They are, first of all, insanely high quality. These things feel so nice. This one is just draping behind him just like this. There's no special details or patterns on it, but there really isn't anyway. And you can see the stitching is actually making it able to sit super nicely on its own. This one just drapes, and this other one you can see right here is a lot more sturdy because there is a lot of metal wiring going on, and we're going to hit some really cool poses with that in just a little bit. Now we're going to go on to all of the pictures he comes with, and these definitely are a little disturbing. They are all of the pictures of his mom when she was kidnapped. I don't want these. I don't want these in my display. I don't want these at all. These are fucking terrifying, and yeah, I don't want this on my Superman display base, but you know, they are super high quality and the actual printing on them is super nice, but that's just fucking scary. Now we'll go on to his hands really quickly. We're not going to spend too much time on them because all of the detail is pretty much the same. A lot of vein work, and the skin texture does match his face very nicely. And these sculpts are actually very nice and high quality. Nothing looks choppy. And these are some of the most secure hands I've ever dealt with, and it's actually super hard to get them on and off, which, I mean, I guess is a positive and a negative. But he does come with two fists. He comes with the hand to hold Batman's mask, and this more relaxed kind of one. These two for holding the pictures. A semi-relaxed one and a more angry kind of looking hand. These two you can hold the kryptonite staff with. And of course, just two relaxed hands. But for now, everybody, that is all of the accessories that the INART Superman comes with. So now let's get him out in the light box and take a close look at him with his normal cape on and his normal head sculpt and no other special accessories, and see what he's all about. All right, everybody, so apparently my rotating turntable decided to break mid-filming, so that is very incredibly annoying. But we don't need it, as you can see, though. Oh my god. This, I'm just going to say it, this is the best Superman 1/6 scale of Henry Cavill that there seriously is. Hot Toys version is not bad, but if you just look at the quality of this guy, it is unmatched. We're going to flip him around so you can take a look at that cape drape. That kind of rhymed a little bit. And yeah, that looks so good. The quality of this cape, first of all, is amazing. I can't seriously understate that. But just the overall proportions and look of this guy are freaking amazing. I mean, look at that. That's Henry Cavill as Superman. But now we're going to take a very close look at this figure and just see what he's about. We're going to take a look at this head sculpt once again because This is just about as perfect as I have seen for a 1/6 scale figure, and especially for the Superman Henry Cavill. I mean, every detail about this guy is just seriously perfect. I can't understate how good this looks and just how much this does look like Henry Cavill. All of that skin texture on his face, that side profile, straight on, up and down. I mean, you guys seriously cannot tell me this isn't as close to perfect as this can probably get. If we come over to his hairline, you can see every strand of hair, even the fact that this is sculpted, every strand of hair is visible. And like I said, even on the hairline, you can see every single little detail. Now, just for fun, we're gonna mess around with some of the rolling eyeball movements. Something just as simple as moving his eyes to the side seriously gives you an entirely new look for this figure. And that is why I am a massive fan of rolling eyeballs becoming a huge standard in the 1/6 scale industry. And now if we slap this angry sculpt on, come on guys, this thing is insane. If we take a nice close up, you can see all those details, and he looks absolutely phenomenal on the actual body itself. All of the details pretty much are the same besides the eyes and the little cracking around it, but I just can't understate how great this guy looks. And like I was saying before with this cape, there is so much of it and it's so heavy that it just naturally drapes so nicely. I mean, just look at that, right? Come on. Now, to show his full body in the light box with maybe a few cool poses with this cape, and then I'm going to go on to the actual wired cape. But with both, I'm going to show what he looks like flying on the display too. But before we do any of that, I'm going to show you how you actually connect him to the flight pole. Then you come around to his back and you zip him up, funnily enough. And boom, it reveals a ton of metal under him, which gives him an insane amount of weight. But also, that is where all of the shine comes from, because everything under here is metallic or metal. And the suit is super thin and just, super thin. It has so much give. And the shine doesn't come from the actual suit material itself, but what's underneath. But if we come over here, we can see all the way down here, we have a little peg. And in this little peg, you just put this flight pole right here, and it is super secure, actually. But let's get that normal cape back on and see what it looks like in some cool poses. So I'm going to be doing as close as these same poses as I can for both of these. So this is with the normal cape, and trust me, guys, come on, I know. The fact that I was able to pull off this pose with him standing right here, I'm a pretty fucking good poser. But now let's see what it looks like with that wired cape on, because I feel like it's about to look so much more dynamic. All right, guys, I think that is a definite win for the wired cape here. Let me move the camera slightly down so we can see the whole picture here. And yeah, wired, definitely. This looks a million times more dynamic and just badass in my opinion. But now let's see what it looks like flying. First of all, just the look of Superman flying is absolutely just badass. But with this cape and especially that angry head sculpt with a little bit of dynamic looking posing to him, not just straight, I think he looks like an absolutely phenomenal figure. And I seriously don't have any real complaints besides maybe one that I'll get into near the end of the video. But now I want to see what he looks like with his normal cape on. I'm honestly stuck in between both of these because I really like how this one looks too. It has a very natural drape. And I guess it's just how it would look if there was no wind or he wasn't even moving. He's kind of just standing there static. You guys let me know down below in the comments which style you guys like better. I kind of just want to give my personal biggest complaint right now, and you might be able to see it right here. It is those elbows. I think sometimes when you pose him for even just a little bit, the suit gets a little bunched up in his elbows, and I think it can make him look a lot faker. But if you guys have him in a nice dynamic pose, even with his elbows bent slightly, this just looks amazing. I'm not even sure how INART would have avoided this. Everybody, and put your tomatoes down, because for this comparison section, I do not have any kind of Batman. So I'm going to be displaying him next to a bunch of different people from the DC universe. So hopefully that's good enough for you, and then we'll go on to articulation. Here we have him next to the still very brand new Joker release, and the scaling is definitely nice. Now, if I did have a Batman, I'm sure it would look absolutely amazing next to this guy, but damn. That really is making me realize I do need to get Batman ASAP. I have almost all of his villains, and I don't have a Batman, so I think that's just me slacking in the fact that Batman do go for a pretty penny compared to some of the villains who go for decently cheap, in my opinion. But now let's see him next to some others. And now here we have him next to the Hot Toys Peacemaker. These two definitely look really awesome next to each other. Their suits are kind of opposite, where Peacemaker's top is mostly red and Superman's is mostly blue. We can see both of them have a sort of seamless arm look, with Peacemaker's kind of just being a lot more realistic with his silicone, and Superman with his soft goods. Scaling with INART versus Hot Toys is very good, besides for the fact that the Hot Toys Batman head sculpt might be slightly too big and the INART one might be slightly too small, but maybe one day we'll get to compare those. And next up, here we have him next to the Hot Toys Deadpool and Wolverine Deadpool. Yeah, I think Deadpool looks good no matter where I put him, and I kind of put him in most of my figure comparisons, just because, first of all, he's one of my favorite figures, and I feel like that goes for a lot of other people too. He is really just an awesome figure, and as a character himself, he pretty much matches anywhere. To make everything just a little bit easier, I ended up taking his cape off so it doesn't interfere with any of the articulation portion, but let's get right into it. His arms go just about 90. They can go pretty far up, just about there, before the suit does start to stretch out a little bit. He can go, I'd say, pretty much the same distance backwards. Now, first of all, it's all very stressful because this guy's suit is so thin, so I really don't want to rip it, or else, you know, I'm out a couple $100. So elbow bend all the way, pretty much what you would expect. Let's see some ab crunch, and I'd say that's pretty good, not gonna lie. And now going backwards, you can see all of his separate joints moving there, and that is actually pretty insane, not gonna lie. Now you can see everything moving back. You can see all of that metallic under there, super cool actually. Then we're gonna kick his hips forwards. They go just about to there, and backwards is almost nothing at all. Hips going out to the side right there, and the knee bend, of course, is about to be absolutely insane. He does have a butterfly pivot at his hip. His ankles can pretty much go 360, but the material kind of restricts it. But either way, you can go very far. His ankle goes up that much and down to there, a tiny bit of swivel side by side. But anyways, everybody, I would really love to know what you guys think of this figure down in the comment section below. Personally, I am a super big fan of how he came out and all of the accessories that he actually comes with. You guys think for around $500 this is actually worth it in your opinion? Because I know for some people they're going to think that is way too much money for this figure, being pretty much just a suit. But in my opinion, I think maybe there is definitely some high price about it, I guess you could say. But on toysassemble.com, they do actually have it for a pretty good deal, not gonna lie. And you'll probably end up getting it that same week. So if you guys do want to check them out, check the link in that description. But now, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot. And if you want to see future notifications for my channel, make sure to hit that bell icon. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you again for watching.